The whole world I wait for this. I make the beat drop off.
Joanna, you're busy, body busy tonight. Joanna, about for the result, nothing to discuss, cause I'm the win by default and without money follow you, banana follow you, brother follow you. If I tell you, say I love you, oh yeah, beautiful too. My number one in tutu.
Baby,
calm down. Yo, this your body, it puts in my heart for lockdown.
Oyo! Maybach music.
more fire.
This a survival story. True get a story. I'm drinking rum and Red Bull, and you see, let me heart full.
Just give me the cheese, I'll make it smoke it, yo. Smoke it, yo. It's a...
Boom, bang, bang, connect. Hey, listen, modern, nice and decent people. Big up to E-Ross the boss. They're like, when E-Ross enters the stream early, it's a madness. Wasn't planning on doing too much music today, but fuck it, he's E-Ross, you know what I mean? Big up to E-Ross in the building. You know, panhandlers give him money. You know, man stand there on the corner, collect money all day. E-Ross walk by, the panhandlers give their money to him. You know what I'm saying? That man can teach a German Shepherd to bark in Spanish. E motherfucking Rouse. Big him up. Big up to the absolute legends in the chat. Listen, it's Valentine's Day, y'all. Do not let BBK Sports fuck up your pum pum, yeah? If you have some cheeks lined up, go get your cheeks. You know what I mean? It falls on a Saturday, so you don't have to leave work early and go get chocolate and all them fucker there to get the same pum pum you've been getting the past 5 years for free. Today you got to pay for it, fellas. Even if you're a male thought like Mateo, you have to pay for it today. It's a good day when you can start a stream and not have to talk about Arsenal right away. You know what I mean? That's what we said. Big up to Kwaja. You know what I mean? Lou Bird, Lynch. Predictions already, yeah? 3-0 to Wigan. Now, you know what? I'm looking at the predictions and I'm okay, cool. Arsenal at home against Wigan, and you're saying, shit, we must, right? But I just looked up at the screen and I see 2-0 for Man City and Salford. I heard Salford gave Man City a game. And Salford, they were a League Two side. And they gave Man City a game, and Man City didn't go, they go light. They didn't go light at all. They went heavy, full-blown strong. Now, this is a bad boy Man City lineup. They went with their cup keeper, Nori, their big money signing this summer. John Stones, Kuzmanov, Max Elaine, Rico Lewis, Nico Gonzalez, and Reinders. That's a Premier League starting midfield against a League Two side. And then Foden, Marmouche, and Cherky across the front line. That beats most Premier League teams, if we're being honest. Yeah? And then he has to bring on Nico O'Reilly because it's only a 1-0 game. Mark Gahey, who's playing FA Cup games for Palace and City. I thought he was cup tied. Semenyo, all the big guns. And imagine having to bring on a Ballon d'Or winner in the against the League Two side in the FA Cup. That is shots fired. Pep is playing the mental game now, right? Everyone is playing checkers. Pep is playing chess. He's like, Mikhail, are you going to rotate versus Wigan tomorrow? Because you see, I went strong against the League Two side. I think Wigan is the League One side, right? I'm not sure. Don't follow League One. But Pep is out here playing checkers, bro. This bad boy lineup against the League Two side and bringing on the Ballon d'Or hitters. Sending a message like, we're going for everything. The final, FA Cup final, and we're coming for the Premier League. He's out here doing absolute madness. Yeah, I don't know if they struggled, but it could be one of those games where they just peppered them and couldn't score. But they had 80% possession of the ball. 80, So, but the fact that they had to bring on Ballon d'Or Rodri and all these, man, Gahey and Semenyo to see out the game, tells you the magic of the FA Cup. I think that's what I put in the thumbnail. The FA Cup magic. There can be some magic in it. And if you don't take it seriously, you could end up like Palace, the defending champions who are out. Macclesfield. It's mad. Max Dowman. Oh, damn. Kwaja with the, where is it?
Breaking news.
Kwaja hitting us with the breaking news that Max is back in full first team training ahead of the FA Cup clash against Wigan tomorrow, according to reports. Doubt if he plays. And if he plays, he definitely doesn't start. He might come on and get a cameo, come on and draw a pen, something along those lines. You know what I'm saying? 2-0, nervy win for Man City, I guess. So as I look, I see West Ham look like they're through. Off for 1-0. Red card in that game. Burnley are out. Oh, shit. Another Premier League team is out of the FA Cup. And 2 more are going home today. Either Brighton or Liverpool or Villa or Newcastle. I'm here for it. Big up to Wahaha, resident United extraordinaire. Who United got today? United got... Who the hell do they have? Tell me, Wahaha. I forgot. Yeah, Burnley are out. Another Premier League team dumped out the FA Cup. The magic of the FA Cup, Kwaja. That's what I'm saying. I'm here for it. Kwaja said, inversely, we are supposedly have the best players across all positions in the world and the best manager the sport has ever seen. So in theory, we should, no one should have give us qualms. Best this, the best that. When it comes to the trophies, we get put on mute. Them they can be on all the podcasts in the world, AFTV and all the big channels with 500,000-600,000 subscribers and say all that shit there. Best this, best that. But if 6 panelists say on the football terrace, right? Because he brings on all these other guys to do the content for him. And he has 10 guys on the panel. He has a Newcastle fan, a Palace fan, a United fan, Liverpool fan, a City fan, right? A Tottenham fan, Chelsea fans. And everyone's, they say, go off camera if you won a trophy in the past year, in the past 4 years, past 3 years. Everyone leaves the damn scene except for the Canadian Michael Jackson. We ain't got nothing to say when the conversation turns to that type of shit. Big up to the legend, that's E. Ross, man. What you telling me, E. Ross? Love, my bro. Hope you are good. Big up to a man like BX Gunner. What you telling me, BX Gunner? I'll tell you in the house, real bad man, you know what I mean? He said he got some sleep and he's normal again. Look at your meat, boy. Yeah, man, look at all this dappings, man. It's mad. It's mad. Man said, only cheeks I have light. The number one male top. I tell you, the snowman. Yeah, get you some of them cheeks, man. Some Georgia peaches. Like if you don't, like today is the day if you don't get any cheeks, you're like, oh shit, man, I need to evaluate my life. Nah, fuck all that. You know how many dudes left their girls last week? Or went ghost, block? Nah, bitch. Not about to spend all this money to get the same vagina. No. Another made-up commercialized holiday to just suck money out of you. Yeah, man. Damn wife almost flooded the house, bro. So I had to run off stream. Almost flooded the damn house. It's mad. Had to go find the emergency shutoff valve, and save the day. Big up, man. Big up to Joins, man. Big up. Yeah, I don't know. You know what? This is the game of the day, isn't it? Now, Brighton and Liverpool. I guess Liverpool, Brighton could be something. Because we've seen Brighton took a shot at Wahaha earlier talking about who does United play. Last FA Cup game, they played Brighton and they were out. Brighton can get at Liverpool. They can. They absolutely can. It's at Anfield, and I think Liverpool will get by in the end. But this Villa and this Newcastle game, I'm up for it. I'm here for it. Big up my brother Jordy Dread whenever he decides to turn his camera on and do his watch along. But they might be out. And it could be out of both cups. And I heard Bruno G is out for like 2-3 months. This is the time of the year where remember back in the beginning of the season, the back end of last year, we were talking about this part of the season is when you're gonna see men start picking up injuries and people starting to get nervous about picking up said injuries because of the World Cup. Like if you're Mikel Merino, you were trying to not do that surgery on your foot so you could have a chance to play for Spain. Spain has a legitimate shot of actually winning the tournament. Now, this is the part of the season where you're going to have guys actively trying not to get injured, and in the result, consequently, will go get themselves injured. You know, Bruno G, got it for him because I know he, based on the minutes played, the position that he plays, he probably would have been one of Carlos' first call-ups. But right now, it's looking long. Prediction for the match, 2-1 Villa. Unai in the cups. Yeah, you know, Unai versus Eddie Howe. Yeah, I think Eddie Howe's seats will get really hot if he gets knocked out of the FA Cup. You mix that with just how poor they've been. They're at extra time, Leicester Southampton. Yeah. Newcastle with their PSR issues. I'm hearing now that Villa also have PSR issues. You know, trying to compete with the big boys without big boy money, without big boy sales can be tricky. Unless you're Man City. You know what I mean? Imagine Villa getting charged with PSR and all kind of shit again, and the 115 still hasn't been adjudicated. What are the odds? The thing with betting, if you have disposable income or money that you won't miss in the event that you lose it, shit, you know. But then there's a line there that you don't want to cross, right? Where you want to bet on your own team to lose, then it gets kind of tricky. You know what I mean? Big up to Footy Bands. I'm watching Marseille versus Strasbourg. They moved Ethan. Really? What the fuck are they playing? Let me check them. And I might have to put that in the background, you know. Joins. Why did I not see that in the league thing? Marseille 2-0 up, yeah? That's on beIN Sport. Give me 1 second, people, before the City game. Let me put that on in the background. On beIN Sport, French League One Soccer. Bam. There we go. Appreciate that. Joins. Martinez. Cash. Kwanzaa. Chiao. Hall. No Livramento, yeah? No Livramento. Anana, Tonali, Rogers, Gordon, Murphy, Walton. Brad, I don't know what's going on with Maltamade, bro. Because he's been pulled out the firing line or been benched for Whistle these days. You're supposed to get screwed on Valentine's Day. Like, what's the purpose of this fucking... we know the origins and all that shit, but you know, the candy and the flowers people and the edible arrangements with the decorative fruits and all that just fully commercialized this shit, right? Now, imagine being married to your wife for 20 years and you provide, you protect, and all this shit, and then she get upset at you because you don't go buy her some useless fucking chocolate or some dead flowers for some teenager holiday. You know what I mean? And I hope her ass hear me too. Hope she tunes in and watch this part of the show. Like, our anniversary is next month. Mother's Day is in May. Her birthday is in June. Those are the holidays that actually make sense or have any kind of sentimental value to us. Not this shit. You know, as we get old, we're supposed to leave some shit for the kids, you know. We're supposed to outgrow Valentine's Day. Big up to Guna SE, man. Burnley, out. Is Scott Parker sacked yet? Should be like, hey, breaking news. Burnley have relieved Scott Parker of his coaching duties. Don't understand why Quentin Timber not at Villa or a top Italian team. Everybody got nothing but I haven't heard one bad thing about this Quentin Timber guy, you know. And I'm not gonna pretend like I watched him at Feyenoord or wherever he was. You know, whenever he plays for the Dutch national team, I do see him, but it's not a big sample size. So I'm not sure what to make of Quentin Timber. But I'll take your word for it from the chat. The chat's never lied to me. You know what I mean? James Beattie, football player. Did you rate him? I don't even remember James Beattie or to even speak on anything that he did. Norwich City playing West Brom Albion. That game should be over. That game is over, yeah? Yeah. I think Norwich dealt with them. Yeah, I think Livramento. I'll put Livramento as one of the fullbacks. I think he is good. Yeah, bro. It's like, and it's not us. You know what I mean? Like this is one holiday we could do without. Just like Easter. Easter has become commercialized to the point where if young kids in America ask their parents, "What the hell does Easter egg hunt have to do with Christianity?" They're like, "Oh shit, I don't know." Hallmark, Walmart, they have to sell their products, so they connect the two. But it's not us, man. It's the goddamn women into this fucking candy and chocolate shit, man. Can't stand it. It's a single. They take it to heart. I would get the long face all day, bro. She would be like, "Oh, you didn't even acknowledge." Just to keep the peace, you fold. You go buy some dead flowers down the road from the guy on the corner. Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, see, when I do these combined 11s in my head, I kind of assume everyone is fit available, right? Fit and available. That's why I think, and maybe it's because Matty Cash scored on us, so I got like a vendetta to pick against him. But big up to Footy Bands. Everything half price next week. Yeah, all the shit that they didn't get to sell. Yeah, but then next week is useless because your girlfriend, your wife is already mad at you, and you can't make it up a week later. You can't. You know what I mean? But yeah, people, it's one of them ones. But big up for tuning in. We got 21 locked in. If we could just do me a solid and hit the like and subscribe thing. Yeah, but big up. But you know what? Premier League aside, EFL Cup aside, right? And we compartmentalize that. And we're expecting to see some good football tomorrow from Arsenal Football Club. Are we not? League One side, we're at the Emirates. The hell with the injuries, so to speak. We have enough to put on a good performance tomorrow and get a good result tomorrow. We need this. The fan base needs a lift, right? There's a whole bunch of discourse going across the fan base right now of just people refusing to acknowledge that all is not rosy in the garden. Like people on this side of the fence where we sit, are literally saying we can feel our grip on the Premier League title slipping, right? But the top gooners are the people who are the toxic positivity merchants they're being disingenuous because they continue to run this narrative of just get behind the team shit, right? Just get behind the team. How can you be so negative when we're top? The same way you can be so fucking confident when we're winless. Right? You can go from one extreme to the next. The same way you can be super positive about Mikel actually getting over the line, even though he's shown you that he can't do it for 5 years. If you can draw positivity from that, the people who have PTSD from said guy can sit back and be like, I've seen this movie before. Right? It's like, okay, why are you man crashing out? You're 7 points clear still. Okay. Now it's 4. We're still top. And then we can still catch him. And then we can catch him next year. Everyone has read that book before. We know how the movie ends. So one is pretending like they don't know why the other side is being kind of skeptical. And that conversation for me will not happen here. Because if the people on the other side are unwilling to admit that the PTSD comes from a valid place, then there's nothing to talk about. Think we're just mad and angry or nervous for no damn reason. It's crazy. Like I said, I hear your video definitely been overly commercialized. Personally, as a hopeless romantic, I'd never be wasting an opportunity to demonstrate affection to my gal wifey. But you know what the thing is, Doc? I do this shit all through the year because I actually think it means more. If I come home with some romantic shit or do some romantic stuff on a random day in March and a random day in June, I think it should be worth more than February 14th, where everyone is pressured into and guilted into doing this. It's kind of like when you go to church and you're being like coerced into becoming a member and all that type of shit. You know, it's just leave it to me. Right? That's what I always tell my wife. I said, leave us to me. Right? Do all the planning. You just show up. But there's no way to show up today. You know, tonight we'll go to a nice dinner down at Red Lobster, pay for some overpriced, poorly cooked lobster tail and crab legs and all that shit. But dinner with the wife is always an experience. I'd rather do that than buy some useless chocolate or some useless flowers. You know what I mean? I should go to the damn dispensary and get her some edibles. So that should do. Some chocolate that would actually make her sleep. Or make her mellow out for a little bit. You know what I mean? But physically and mentally is what we talked about yesterday with this team. Physically and mentally, right? And we're talking about Arteta has physically ruined Saka. Physically ruined Kai. Benjamin White we have on that list. These players just look like they are not themselves. They don't. And we talk about him ruining players mentally. Skelly, Eze, Gyökeres, a lot of these men who don't believe that they're given a fair shake, so to speak. Yeah. And in the event that this continues, I believe he will lose the entire dressing room. Another part of me is conflicted because let's just say Mikel gets over the line, which we all hope he does. We all hope that he gets over the line. Contrary to popular belief, we actually want him to win this Premier League title. Then the fallout or the ripple effects of that is, will he double down and will he change? Because you don't change a winning formula, right? And if you win the Premier League, technically you could argue it's a winning formula. So imagine we win the Premier League this year. He doubles down and go into next season doing the same thing. Are we confident that we can retain the Premier League title doing this? Not so sure. Everything's going to be all right. Without the quotations, I would have lapped this up, because if E-Ross said everything is going to be all right, shit, then who the hell is Bob? Who the hell is Bob Marley if E-Ross says it? But the quotation says sarcasm. I love it. Yeah, year-round thing. Yeah, bro, year-round thing. You know what I mean? I used to just decorate, all kind of shit, get like the one, I can't even tell that story. I was about to tell that story, but I can't tell that one, But the cat is out the bag, the elephant in the room, across the spaces, the topic of as they not doing as they're not executing the manager's instructions is the reason why that he is being subbed at halftime or being an unused sub for 4 games when the team clearly needed him, right? Because he was chucked out there against Liverpool for 12 minutes to go win the game for Mikel. He was chucked out there with 12 minutes on the clock against Forest to go win the game for Mikel. He was chucked out there against United. And we lost that game when the captain didn't even last an hour. And now they're coming to the realization that, Arteta doesn't want this guy. So all the people who was telling me that Arteta called him, believe that story. Arteta called him up and they spoke on the phone and all this shit. It's madness. No one believes that. One, if Arteta really wanted Eze, we would have never went to Singapore without him. He would have never played in a Carabao, in a Community Shield versus Liverpool, right? What if Arteta wants him so bad you let him play again in the Community Shield? What if he fucking snapped his hamstring then? And you wouldn't have let him play the Premier League game, a full Premier League game against Chelsea match week 1 or 2, when he actually scored a goal and they ruled it off. I always say, what if the shin kicker that plays for Chelsea in Caicedo clattered into him and break his damn leg? You know, what if Cucurella had went sailing in and 2-footed him in the box? You wanted him so bad that you let him play a Community Shield 90 minutes. You went on preseason without him, and you let him play a Premier League game for another team, and you wanted him so bad. Really? I don't believe that. Because you wanted Madueke so bad, you bought him the day before a final. So we know that he didn't want him. So all the people who are coming to the party now talking about, why are you so late to the party? Can't you put 2 and 2 together and realize that this shit is players that he didn't really want because they don't play his way? And if you're going to be a coach and you're so rigid in your way, you have to win. You must. The thing is, when Jose came to the Premier League as the chosen one, he was coming to the Premier League as a winner and had credit in the bank, had clout, had credit, you know what I mean, had credibility. Arteta can't tell any of these players who've won stuff, especially recently. Men them are leaving trophy-winning teams to come to us and are losing their place in their national teams. That's mad. He's ruined his favorites. Jesus, Kai, Saka, Odegaard, Ben White are all damaged, mental and physical. That cycle of player is done. They need a new coach, or they will just continue to degrade. Fresh set of eyes, right? Arsenal Football Club right now are a cold case, and we need a new detective. Let's shake things up. As a new body comes in, all of a sudden, Skelly is a midfielder. Ethan is our number 10. Whoever plays on the wing is based on merit. You score, you stay on. You know, you bang a brace midweek during Champions League. You know, I'll get you a run out on the weekend and see what you can do against Wolves. But nah, you old bench. Hey, this is dope, you know, Eros. Execution. Hey, see? The wordplay from the Don, you know. Yeah, Victim Gyökeres, and he's been executed. You know, banished out the squad. He peaked at 16 at Real Madrid. Now, Ryan, on this topic, yeah, I was one of the biggest critics of Lee Gunner when Lee Gunner called Odegaard a failed wonder kid. I thought that was harsh at the time, and I told Lee, like, you know, I just think you're being harsh. He hasn't hit the level, but when you call him a failed wonder kid, I know. Now, fast forward 3 years later, he looks like a failed wonder kid. Because everyone other than Mikel Arteta and his cronies want to sell him. Matter of fact, I can argue that Mikel secretly sees he sees the writing on the wall, the fact that he didn't play him in the semifinal second leg at home versus Chelsea. He made sure he pulled him out the firing line to give himself the best chance to win the final, because you didn't start him in the second leg. You have, this is the team that got us to the final. This is the team that I'm going to use to win the final. And Odegaard wasn't included in the second leg. All right. And he played in the first leg that we won 3-2. I get it, but he wasn't great in that game, and that's why he didn't play the damn second leg. Matter of fact, I think he was at fault for the damn goal, the first one. You know what I mean? Appreciate everyone joining us, man. 27 of you legends here. Big up. Appreciate your time. Thank you for being here. I do not take your time and your presence lightly. Thank you for being here. Not just saying that. Big up. It ain't so easy at all, man. But the execution, that was a good one, man. But we all know Arteta wanted Nico Williams instead and has been pouting ever since. And he can pout all he wants, Doc. The thing is, I don't understand where he gets his level of stubborn and arrogance. If anything, he should be grateful that he is here still making 15.6. What coach, what manager don't want top players? It's like he's upset that he got this player, who we all know is a top player. Any coach who's worth their salt would say, you know what? Give me all the top players and I will figure it out. That's essentially what Roman did to every coach that he hired at Chelsea. I'm gonna give you a bunch of top players. The rest of it is for you to figure out. Not I'm gonna give you top players. Oh, I didn't want this top player. I wanted that top player. Stop it. Odegaard is the definition of don't peak in high school. He peaked at the youth level. I like this. This is this is so simple but so true. Peaked early. Yeah. Hey, we could have got Luis Diaz instead of mad as shit. That would have been. You know what? I've had changes of opinions on Luis Diaz over the years. I was so frustrated with him at one point. I called him the Colombian Iwobi. Happy feet, right? Because he do some of the same thing that Madueke does now. Like he will beat his man, cook him, then dribble the ball out for a goal kick. But you talk about Luis Diaz, and he sounds like the type of winger that Mikel would love because he would press. That's one of the things that Liverpool is missing now. Earlier on in the season, when they went on their 4-game skid, that's one of the things we talked about. They were trying to blame it on Jota. I'm like, man, maybe you miss Luis Diaz more than you think. Because Isaac doesn't press, Ekitike doesn't press, Squirts doesn't press. Luis Diaz was a madman out there. He was the closest thing to the Sadio Mane press. So that's a good call. He fits the prototype, the mold of an Arteta type winger. Everyone except Madueke, Zubimendi are Bertha signings. Bertha knew Saka, Odegaard, and Cairo on downslope. He knew he had to change the style, but the coach is still trying to play a shit system. But the only thing I have with this comment, Joins, is if Bertha knew that Saka is on the downturn, why give him a new contract? Has he signed it? I'm not even sure if Saka signed it, but it's, Fab and Ornstein and all these men have tweeted that, it's 300 bags for Saka now when the new deal kicks in. So if I'm Bertha, with the kind of experience that he has and how long he has been in the game, if he believes that Saka is on the downturn, then don't give him a contract. Because Bertha is more than a sporting director, He is an advisor to the billion-dollar cronkies. The guys who are going to cut the checks. He's an advisor to them. And if he advises them and causes them to lose money, then he loses his job. So on the council of Bertha is whether or not Saka would get a new contract. And he did give it to him. So maybe he doesn't think that Saka is on the downturn. Or he believes Saka will have something to offer the new manager whenever this shit turns into a failed experiment. Like Nketiah. Yeah. Eddie. People were talking about Eddie when Eddie was 24, 25 years old, like he was a kid. Now we look at Nani Madueke and Bukayo Saka. They're 24, 25 years old. They're not there. Madueke is not a kid. He's a grown. When you're a winger, 24, 25, with all that energy, prime settings. When you're at center backs, you're 27, 28, even 30. You're just coming into your own. But at Madueke's age, on the wing, he should be better. This one, what a miss. What a miss, Kvaratskhelia, and right there, you can keep it right there when you're at PSG. Mitina, Vito. Missed out on Vito, We went to Porto, came back with Vito, came back with Fabio Vieira instead of Vitina. That's a hell of a miss as well. It ended up on the same team. Dang. Champions League magic. Imagine Olise, Gyökeres, and Cavra. They get their timing right. Because Cavra is one of them guys that can, just like Madueke frustrates you, sometimes he'll cook his man. But the damn runner be off sides because he cooks him one too many times. But this would be a bad boy front line. Who would they double up on? And they do. We have players in the squad. We know Declan can do that diagonal switch. And kept ESR instead of Pillowfoot. Big up to the mod god, my guy. Big up AJ. That's why I said it's Mikel versus Arsenal. The coach has been avoiding platforming the new players because he has to coach a new system and style. But he puts his ego above doing what's necessary. Problem, big problem. And this is the point that Shane Guna usually hammers on and beat home about this guy. Like, brother, he is classic cut off his nose despite his damn face. His own damn nose. You know what I mean? He's all about burning bridges. Now, if you are willing to win the Premier League at any cost, fine. But know that at any cost could be you losing your damn job. If the damn injury report ends up being 150 injuries since last year or since 23-24, whatever the count is now. But AJ keeps me updated on the count. But you would think every other coach at this level would relish the opportunity to show that they can coach or win in multiple ways. Well, I see NBA coaches all the time win one way, then retool their team and play a different way. Seen Greg Popovich do it, known as a defensive coach, and then other years they were blowing teams out. You know what I mean? They're realizing Arteta is a one-trick pony that's being gonna. You know what the thing is? I think the rest of the managers in the Premier League knows this. They will never say it publicly because the managers have a certain level of decorum amongst them. Managers are always going to speak nicely of other managers. They're always going to speak nicely of the players in the league because they never know when they might coach these players. So they can't talk bad about them. They can't speak ill of them and then they go coach them. Right? We've seen what the guy at who did Forest just hire? The Portuguese guy, not Forest. Sugnakis just hired him, but he was coaching Wolves and got sacked from there. So imagine if he was coaching Wolves, he was speaking ill of the Forest players. Now he's their coach. You know, those level of teams typically rotate coaches. Imagine Nuno while he was at Forest was speaking ill of Somerville and Jared Bowen and Souček and Wan-Bissaka. Now he is their coach. So the coaches are always going to speak highly of him and everyone. And, you know, they have coaches meetings and all this shit every year. But secretly, they know that he can be got at. A classic one-trick pony. Big up BX Gunner. Big up to Mr. Cousteau. Cousteau himself. The General Weevil is with us. What you telling me, man? Thank you for being here, my guy. Or Berta Newsaka is so prized that if he opposed green lighting the new extension, he would have gotten flack online and even dismissed. But what if we upgraded on Saka? That's the answer. If you're not gonna greenlight a contract extension for Saka, even though he's a fan favorite, and then you upgrade, that's how you get away with it. Like, classic example, the Lakers and the Mavericks traded Anthony Davis for Luka. And Nico Harris lost his job at Dallas for that. Because now they ended up trading Anthony Davis to Washington for Chris Middleton. So essentially they traded Luka Doncic, a generational player, for a 33-year-old Chris Middleton. Washed. But if they had traded Luka and that turned into SGA or Jokic, another top player, then you can get away with it. So if we didn't give Saka an extension and then his contract runs out or he is sold and then the right winger for Arsenal is Olise, then it's an upgrade. You know what I mean? It's an upgrade. So I hear it, but the flack that he would have gotten online, because they can give flack online all they want to and be upset with the emotional connection that they have to Saka. But if Olise or a better player is lining up at the right wing, it would have to be quiet. What are they going to do? Not celebrate when he slaps one in the top corner? Or go in their corner and pretend like they don't love how he's playing when he's putting diagonal cutbacks on a platter for Gyökeres? If that's what we want Saka to do, you need to be creating goals for your striker blood. And you're not doing that right now. Most of these renewal contracts just to make up for running players on the ground. all the guys that had surgery all got new contracts. The club is trying to make up for harming them like times we do. So it's a compensation package, right? Yeah, we're about to fuck you up. You about to be disabled for the rest of your life, or after your playing career, your knees are going to be so fucked. We're going to compensate you now, and that's fine. I understand that even players, because you have to be certain type of crazy to play at this level in athletics. Yeah, players would happily trade that if they won. Some of these players will trade their damn kneecaps for 2 or 3 Champions Leagues. Be in their garage basement on the damn walker because they can't walk straight, but they got their trophies and their medals all on the damn shit. There is a price to pay, but it's winning, and we're not doing that. So we feel for the team, we feel for our players, and we feel for our fellow fans because we're destroying players and we're not winning. Ultimately, how can Arteta defend a man that has been sacked, attacked since 22-23? You know what? The more we look back at that 2022-23 season, that might be the season we can look back and be like, that football that we were playing was probably just a fluke. Because there is no way. Like, who thought it was a good idea to go away from that? That's the type of football that got you where you needed to be. Just bolster your defense. Because we were too open, but we have better defenders. That 2022-23 season, we didn't have Timber in the team. Well, that was the best version of Benjamin White that we saw. But the following season, we had Timber. And the football wasn't great. The only reason we started looking better at playing football after we came back from Dubai in 2024. I mean, big up to Aaron, my guy, Giza. Out here doing 3-4 hour shows, my bro. That's a part-time job, Big up to Aaron, man. Out here giving free content for 3-4 hours, giving a voice to the people. Big up to Aaron Talks Arsenal, where you, the football fan, as a voice, thank you for making Here and There your channel of choice. Big up, man. Big up to Ryan. Said PSG is just what Arsenal would have been with an attacking tactical setup and not missed transfers. Facts. If winning the league at any cost loses his job, then so be it. Yeah. If we have to limp across the line, and this is one of the conversations that Organ Goon, Dal, and I have that people think is crazy. Now, at the time, I said, Dal, I disagree with the premise that you're on, but I understand why you're saying it. And it looks like Dal's projections may come to pass. Because when we were speaking, we were comfortably 6 points ahead, and we're saying that we were going to go 9. And Dal was saying from 9 points clear in match week 20-something, if we go on to just barely get over the line from here, surely you have to sack him, because then we would have regressed in a point where we're barely getting over the line. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe that's one of the bridges we'll cross when we get there. But at this point, playing how we're playing, I would be lying if I said I think we could retain a Premier League title playing this way next year. Because we don't think Liverpool is going to be as bad where they're losing 4 games in a row next year. Obviously, we don't know, but we can. When was the last time Arsenal lost 4 in a row? So by the law of averages, next year could be the year that we had a skid. Because after Liverpool won the league so easily last year in the transfer window that they had, no one predicted that they would have been that bad even after they started 5-5. No one would have predicted it. So we haven't had a skid in a while. So on the law of averages, it could be our turn next year. You know what I mean? Big up, man. Big up to everyone that's locking in. What time is the Villa? Oh, shit, man. Let me switch to the Villa game in the background, people. Wait a minute. Let me check if Ethan did Ethan come on? Greenwood, did he play Aubameyang on the wing? Ethan didn't come on, so fuck it. I'm gonna switch to the FA Cup, y'all. Give me 1 second. Bear with me, nice and decent people. Where the fuck is it? It's on TNT Sports, yeah? I know I just saw it. There it is. And I'm back. We could use some more Mourinho's in the league, calling a spade a spade. I don't like that. Yeah, I think the players would be like, we wouldn't have to worry about players getting a rocket up the ass and all that shit, you know? One thing we do know, he know how to keep a bunch of players motivated. You know what I mean? Big up to DG2. Upgrade on Starboy. That would put the Arteta sexuals into a coma. That trade, he will be forever remembered as the guy who traded Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis, who got injured shortly thereafter. He will never, no matter what he goes on to do, you know what I'm saying? Never live that down. Always be remembered for that. Just like, you know, Conrad Murray will always be remembered as the guy who unalived Michael Jackson. No matter what he does in the world. That's not matter. That's all he'll be known for. And no player is bigger than the club. If he isn't performing, then sell and get an upgrade. There you go. There it is. You know what I mean? And the thing is that they will hear that. They will hear us say that and clip it up and look at these guys. And it's always the young fuckers, like these little, I don't want to, I was about to say 90s babies, but I forget how old I am. And if you're 30-something now, you're a 90s baby. But it's always the guys who, like I can say, bro, I've seen Thierry Henry leave my club. You know what I'm saying? I've seen TT leave. I've seen Cesc leave. I've seen Ashley Cole leave. All these legends, all-timers. So if Saka isn't performing, he can go. You know what I mean? Even when Madrid was being linked to Saliba and all the noise and everyone was panicking. Like, bro, if he wants to go to Madrid, go. I'm not emotionally attached to none of these players. We've seen the Premier League GOAT leave our club and we've been just fine. Well, you know, one shit since he left, but you know what I mean? The club didn't fold. I'm a Laker, so I love that trade. It's gotten better by the day. Yeah, bro. He will be forever remembered as the guy who had that blunder. You know what I mean? Have you heard the story about the guy who built 1,000 bridges? He built 1,000 bridges, but as soon as he sucked one dick, everyone remembered him as the guy who sucked one dick, not the guy who built 1,000 bridges. So it doesn't matter how many trades he has made. From this point on, he will be forever remembered as the guy who had that blunder. A lot of Lakers, you know, make it through the space. But, you know, I'm a Knickerbocker. I'm a Nick. The same goes for the manager. If it isn't working, sack him and get a better manager. Really. Right there with you, Lynch. Get Morgan Rogers. I think the club will experiment with Skelly in the midfield. And because we have Ethan and all these young attacking, and they will experiment with those, possibly under another manager before they explore the Morgan Rogers deal. Because Morgan Rogers, that's going to be 80 to 100 million pounds. You know what I mean? The thing is that we got that Italian guy, Michelle. His job over the next 5 years, we need him to go find the Morgan Rogers before he becomes Morgan Rogers. Go find a Declan Rice before he turns into a Declan Rice, or between the next 5 years, because we can get 4 to 5 good years out of Declan Rice, right? Go find the next Timber before he becomes Timber, because I think Benjamin White will be on his way out soon. Overworked. And it's not like everyone with eyes didn't see this and been calling for it. I've never seen a football space more universal on an issue when it comes to Arsenal. A lot of times there's some bias in it. A lot of times there's some tribalism in it. But every rival, every neutral, every Arsenal fan between 20 whatever till now was saying Saka needs a rest. Saka needs a rest. And then, boom, plays 90 minutes for every fucking game in Arsenal. Goes play meaningless 90 minutes for Southgate. Plays meaningless games for Arsenal. Meaningless minutes in Carabao Cups. Coming on against QPR when we're leading and that type of shit. Poor man management. Shout out to Manny. Manny was talking about poor man management last stream over by Rashid. Great watch from yesterday. If he wins the league, I'll see what happens in the other comps. Also, what you do in the following season after you win is also important. Look at Liverpool. What they did was break the transfer window twice. What they did, if we had done that, we would have been on the same ish the Liverpool man that we're on. Big up to Aaron, man. It seems that way. It seems that the entire season or that entire blitz looked like he just stumbled up on it, right? In Jamaica, we call it a buck up in a. Especially buck up in a, right? And just buck up in our good form. Now, imagine we went into the 2023-2024 season playing the same type of football. Then they would have been like, hey, we found something. Because consistency is key, right? A body of work. Anyone can have a flash in the pan one season. It happens across sports. This is not just a football thing. But the more we go on, it looks like it was a purple patch. Now, that is it's hidden behind the fact that the following season we did get more points, technically score more goals, and take the Premier League down to the last day. But overall, from match week 1 to match week 38, the football wasn't as good. Ooh, Bailey had a good look there and fucked it. Let me pull the scores up here. Not just the players. I'm willing to trade an arm and a leg for a UCL too. You know what? See this. Let me see if I can show. I don't know if you guys can see it. This right here, this part right here. My combat wound. My purple heart. I'll give a part of my other ear, or I'll keep the arm and the leg, but I'll trade a part of my damn ear for a UCL, bro. You know what I mean? That parade is gonna be so lit. In the last 12 games, the manager and players must believe they can win the Prem. They need to raise their own game. Yeah, we're not in title winning form. They need to fix. They need to fix that. Because I'm looking at Man City now. Like, I really believe that Pep was trying to send a message to them playing mind games with that lineup that he put out against Salford. And then bring on the big hitters. He's like, bro, we're here to clean up. I hear the Arsenal fan base talking about quad. Okay, we're in every competition you're in. And right now, they're probably begging to get us in the Champions League or the FA Cup. Because the more we play them, it seems like advantage them. I want to see that man in the Carabao final on March 22nd. And I want to see that man April 18th. I don't want to see him in the Cups at all. You know what I mean? Nope. Big up to Aaron, man. Legend of a guy. Big up to the assembled. Love my guy. Hope you are good. Thank you for being here. We're still in 4 competitions. Must win at least 1. I've been saying 2, DG. Honestly, I've been saying 2. And that was when we were 6 point clear, potential to go 9. And I'm saying, hey, we're postured from here. Anything other than 2 would be a failure. Now, if the Premier League is the one that we leave with, okay, and it can't just be the Carabao. And I do believe, against popular opinion or unpopular opinion, I do believe that we're going to win that. Now Arteta and the players have to step up and play with intent to win games, better tactics and formations. So DG2, I did a show in December from New York on my travel Christmas where I said 19 cup finals to go. 19 cup finals. I was meant to put it in today's thumbnail, but I was rushing. But I have said, I am officially going from 19 cup finals to go to 12 potential banana skins. Okay, that's where we are. I can't, with all honesty and truth, sit here and look into the camera with 32 of you watching and say, I believe we're going to win all of those games. Now, we can go undefeated, but undefeated can cost us the league. Undefeated could mean 6-6 in our final 12 games. Win 6, draw 6, that costs us the league. I'm sorry. So we have 12 potential banana skins, and the first banana skin starts on Wednesday. Just on a linear scale, and I know football isn't linear, but let's lay this out. Wolves at home, Wolves away at the Emirates gave us a hell of a game. Typically, teams play better at home, especially the relegation fodder. So they should be given a tougher game. Who scored a pen for Strasbourg? There's a goal in the Strasbourg game. Oh shit! But surely, if I'm sitting here saying that even Wolves can be a potential banana skin, it's not a confident in it. Go get Morgan Rogers. Sell to buy. That's what you're gonna hear. I do think he improves us, but imagine Morgan Rogers come to us and then when he comes to us, or Julian Alvarez or whoever, do their names just get added to the long list of names of attackers who came to Arsenal and took a dip, flattened out, but never took that next step? Because the list is growing. Our bro AJ in the chat has a running list of injuries that has happened in the club since 23-24. Now, brother AJ, the mod god, oh, that was the equalizer from Strasbourg. The mod god, have another challenge for you, my friend. If you could, list the attackers, all the attacking players that Arteta has signed since he's been here. If you put them all in one comment, we can go through it and say which one of these guys improved under Mikel. Improved. I'm not talking about maintaining their level. I'm talking about taking the next step. Most of them regressed. A few of them stayed the same. That's an uncomfortable conversation that we're going to be forced to have, whether or not we win this Premier League title or not. By the law of averages, next year will be the year we nearly win the trophy again. That's typically Arsenal doing what they typically do in every season. Big up to Mr. Paz. That cold corner banging in the bridge is over. The bridge is over. So my apologies, Mr. Paz. Cav from the Red Pitch Podcast, who owns the channel, had a minor setback. He had an operation. Big up to Cav every time. And as soon as he is well enough, he can do streams right now, but he doesn't go on camera because of his operation and all that. So, for the better of the content, whenever he is ready to come back on stream, we'll do another Cold Corner. But apologies for the delay on the next episode of the Cold Corner. A big up to Mr. Pads. Mikel will go when the players turn on him. I don't see them biting the hand. Unfortunately, they don't have the resume to spit in this. And this is a problem, Jacques, right? Because if he has a heavy hand in recruiting, or before Bertha got here, he will never get those guys. Those guys with build personality who will turn on him that could possibly help us win, he will never sign any of them. He's going to sign the nice guys. He's going to sign the yes men. And I've always said we need a couple of the dickheads in the squad. We need someone who will run a red light. You know what I mean? That could possibly turn on him. Another alpha male. Because very rarely two alpha males can coexist, isn't it? So he'll get a bunch of beta that will just go out there and execute what he's doing. Because, I mean, is there a captain that says beta more than Odegaard? He's a classic beta male, Big up Ross, man. I don't even watch the Wizards, and I can guarantee it. He heard himself waking up. Oh my God. E. Ross. You're nasty for that one, my G. He's hurt, right? He is hurt right now. Him. So Anthony Davis, Adam Lallana, Sturridge. Who was some other man that was always injured? That was just never fit. Lavia. He's a modern day one. But some men back in the day when they were on the pitch were good. There's never fit. You can guarantee that he is hurt. And Anthony Davis, I've read reports of this bro hurting himself at home, bro. I've had some clumsy soldiers back in the day, but Mr. Glass, Charles Barkley started to call him street clothes. This Anthony Davis, I'm gonna call him street clothes, and is always in street clothes, never dressed. I seen 04 with my own eyes. My standards are growing by the day. Villa are up 1-0. Who's that? Tammy Abraham. What's that, Tammy Abraham? Oh shit! The Chelsea man is doing. I know Specs is having a meltdown somewhere. I think half of them have already have Jacques. Media is keeping it up, keeping it wraps up, pushing narrative. Everything is fine. Bit of proxy battle between Arteta's fave and the rest. So, and this is why in yesterday's thumbnail, that's what I put in the thumbnail. I said I don't think all is well at Arsenal. All isn't well. Ooh, chest it down. Got a little lucky there with the touch. Big Dan Burn fell asleep. What's that? Douglas Luiz with the trip off the free kick. Oh, he did not. He hit it into the ground. That wasn't no fortunate touch. Well done, Tammy. Well done, my guy. Would you work under a manager like Mikel? Yes or no? But you know what the thing is, right? I've had bad commanders. So you can still accomplish the mission if you had a shit commander. You know, like, so the team can win in spite of Mikel. And it's one of the reasons why we still hold the team to a certain standard, because we know in spite of him, we're good enough to win something. But no, I wouldn't play. If you're a defensive player, you probably love him. But as an attacking player, you're like, bro, you know what? There's the other side of the game that goes that way that we need to improve on. You know, the fun part, the part that the fans actually come to see, because the fans don't cheer for side passes, back-to-back passes. The fans don't cheer for a defensive header. They cheer for goals. So let's take our ass up to that end of the pitch and score some damn goals. Yeah, I think Ethan left to go play football, a certain type of football, but it makes no sense to me, because if you look at the Zerbi ball and Arteta ball, they go separate ways. I challenge, I don't think he's gone now, but when he got there and he went to the first training session with De Zerbi, I'm 100% sure that De Zerbi didn't say to him, your first duties on the pitch are defensive. As an attacking 10 or as a winger, your first duties are going to be to defend. And it seems like that's what Mikel tells everybody who walks through the door. You're here to defend first, attack second. You know, and that's a draw the game mentality, because if you don't concede, you don't lose. So let's not lose first, then we go see if we can try to win this game. It's like he loves to go into the half at 0-0 and nick a goal in the second half and lock up shop. Big up to Ozzy, always telling. Ozzy said after we scored against Brentford, it looked like we had a man sent off. Yo, we just retreated. You know what I mean? Madness. Big up to J Lux. Manners and respect. Appreciate you checking in. Thank you for being here, my guy. Oh shit, almost 2-0. Realize Jordy Dread is going out. Calling him O. Who's calling him O? Is that what they call him? If Arteta is the stickler who doesn't let you express yourself, then hell no. Yeah, but I mean, you can look at the squad and clearly see that there is no freedom of expression. Because freedom of expression comes with a certain level of risk, and you will lose the ball when you try to dribble past Premier League players. But when you dribble past them, you completely beat their press, and you get people caught out of positions. Because now, if Eze drops his shoulder, say we're playing Liverpool, Eze drops his shoulder and go past McAllister, all of a sudden, Van Dijk and Konate have a decision to make. Do they stay with Gyökeres and give Eze more space to run into? Or do they vacate their space in the defense and come towards Eze? But now he wants to pass. So you yawn. You know what I mean? This is the biggest problem. If Emery won that Europa League final, it would have been brought him into the right. So why did the FA Cup, a smaller trophy, do that for Arteta? I think that year, if Unai had won the Europa League, our signings going into the following year would have been, different. We would have had Champions League football. Big up, man. Big up, man, like Lux. Big up the General Pandegrong. And like Darren. We're still looking for Borten. We're still looking for the Sheldon. Yeah. And then Bortel will pop up in here on Wednesday after we beat Wolves and be like, yeah, quad still on. And I was like, and then I'm gonna have to be like, I'll check back to the video a hour and 5 minutes and check, hey, I scrolled up and down through the chat and I didn't see you, my guy. All the attackers brought by Arteta: Trossard, Sterling, Gabriel, Jesus, Victor Gyökeres, Nani, and 29. Let's go ahead and throw Willian in there. We'll throw Willian. Then you have great areas of the duties for Gabriel Martinez. Okay. So, Trossard maintained his level. This boy was at Brighton banging hat-tricks at Anfield. Sterling, less said the better. Jesus regressed. Gyökeres regressing. Nani. So that's what we're saying. You know what I mean? Which one of these guys took the next step? And I throw the Willian name in there to widen to go back all the way till 2021. So that's 4 going on 5 years. Not one attacker take that next step and improved under him. What's the why? What's the why? 4 year worth of attacking and you look this bad. Newcastle going home. Sorry, Jordy Dredd. Let's pray for it to be on sides. Anthony Davis, the Odegaard of the NBA. But the thing is, when Davis, when AD is healthy, when the unibrow is healthy, he plays well. He's an NBA champion, albeit in the bubble in that. It was the COVID championship, like we have the COVID FA Cup. But when he's fit, he's a bad boy. He was a bad boy when he played for the Pelicans. That's why that LeBron, the GM, traded for him. You know what I mean? Traded Mark Ingram and half the damn Laker roster they traded for him. You know what I mean? Yeah, this boy was. I think some of his injuries was dubious too, as well. And I think he was. I use him as the example when I say he's being protected. Can't stand him. Antonio Cassano. Big up, man. What we got? 27 likes. Big up, man. Big up, man. I hear that. I brought you. We were talking about being remembered for trading Luka away and trading this guy and that guy. Roberto Baggio will be remembered for the guy who missed the penalty at the World Cup. No matter how good he was at Juve and whatever, he will be remembered for skying that damn pen. Yeah, street clothes. Bad port Maggette. Corey Maggette, you know what? You can go through that Clipper team from like the 90s before pre-Chris Paul Clippers. You could go through that entire team and find all the busts in the NBA. From Corey Maggette to Oliver Candy, Darius Miles. It was just shit. Oh my God, it was a shithole. I guess we got to give Steve Ballmer some credit for turning that shithole into something. Lots of penetration and scoring, but at the end of the day, are you actually satisfied? Perfect nickname for his ass. Street clothes. Yeah, man, it's like GQ should sign him. You know what I mean? Because it's a long one. No VAR in the FA Cup. I don't think there's any VAR at this stage. I think in the 5th round, or don't quote me on this, the FA Cup have their own rules. That's why he was able to play today. The EFL has their different rules, so he's cup tied and can't play against us in the final. But he was able to play today, even though he played against Macclesfield and got their ass knocked out. He wasn't cup tied and he was able to play today and score against Salford, a League 2 side. But the refs hate Man City, yeah. But there is VAR in this competition. I just think it's the later rounds. It's the round of 16 is next, but I'm not sure if it's then or the round after that. I would sign for Arsenal, but negotiate a loan straight away. Wait for Mikhail to be sacked. Premier. If we don't win the Premier League this year, sack them. What we got? From what I heard, the fans are the loudest when we get a corner. Hey, all this togetherness that Blunderman has sworn are sworn by. Why are we certain players being selfish instead of selfless? Great, that's what he's selling. He wants to project that everyone gets along and they hold hands and sing kumbaya and all this other shit. But yesterday's thumbnail, I'm gonna put it in the thumbnail so I can't live it down. I don't think all is well in the camp. If you're Eberichi Eze, you cannot be happy at this shit. You do not like what the fuck I going. You feel some type of way. You feel agree. If you're Skelly, you feel some type of way. If you're Skelly and you see Nkapie and Calafiori are both out, and then the manager moves the entire back line around not to play you, you're not happy about it. I don't care how much of a team player you are. Now, that would be some type of selflessness in you to sit there and just be like, come on. Anything the team needs. Now, the team needs me to play. You're Eze, if you're Skelly, even if you're Yuckerez, you're like, bruh. If you're Norgard, if you are a Christian Norgard, you are pissed the hell off. All is well. All is not well in the camp. It's not. This is criminal. Yep. We're on track to play like 55 to 60 games this year. Oh. Top good energy. Okay. I don't get it. Listen, I don't have any time for him, man. I mean, I play football with him. I mean, group chats with him. That's enough. There's a reason why you don't see certain men on here. I just don't have time. Tony Claude has all the top Guna energy I can deal with. I'll never call Tony a top Guna, but he has top Guna energy. But for a full-blown top Guna, I just don't have time for him, man. I can't. They just fuck them, man. Dio, the quad wanker. Dio will be here on Wednesday. Watch. Matter of fact, tomorrow, nah, because yeah, actually, he will be here tomorrow, or you'll see him in the spaces tomorrow, because then it will be still top of the Prem, 4 points clear. Final, 5th round, top of Champions League. Yeah. He is a beta captain. I wouldn't go with war with that guy. I'd be chirping at him on the pitch. Gabriel Rice, Timber, Raya are the ones who can wear the armband. And he's not, man. He's not. And I will say that on March 22nd, if he starts, he shouldn't, but in the event that he does, during the course of that game, we will go through a rough patch. We'll be under the couch for a minute, and we will need some leadership from someone. Will he provide that leadership? Because I'm sure can look over the sideline for it. Imagine needed some calm in the storm. Imagine needed some guidance, and you look over and you see your manager, the leader, the overarching leader, panicking more than you are. So he's panicking on the sideline, but wants you to stay calm on the pitch. The word that he likes to use in this press conference is transmit. He has the capacity to transmit. Okay, transmit some fucking leadership from the sidelines and calm and compose yourself. Try that. All this animation, you're ball boy, you're the 5th official, you're marshalling the airplane in and all this. The players look at you panicking, they panic too. You know what I mean? He got Mr. Pats, man. Knows his shit. Knows his shit. We used to say the same about Chris Bosh. Far better than AD. I don't know. It's a conversation. I don't know. I don't think Chris Bosh can shoot the ball like AD. As a big man post player, yeah. I think AD fits the modern day mold because he drags you out from the paint. He's the Spurs level player, simple as that. And I think we agreed on that the last time. Speaking of the NBA, they're actually a change OKC to get the number 1 pick. The NBA is cooked. So because they traded well, the The Paul George trade gave OKC a lot of unprotected picks. You know, gifting these assholes the title. Well, you do know that the Warriors' dominance had to come to an end at some point, right? You know, it was it wasn't gonna last forever. I actually think it's over. I don't think Jimmy Buckets can come back from an ACL at 36 or what he's up there and play at Jimmy Buckets level. And Steph is gonna be 40 soon. You know, so it was gonna end at some point, Mike. But you had a hell of a ride, my guy. I heard Seattle's getting the NBA team back. Surely they renamed the Supersonics. We need a Cascades energy back in the league. Retire Kemps and Page. Yeah, that will be. They will definitely do that. Kemp, he still lives here. We still see him in the city from time to time. I know that guy was that big, man. God damn. But yeah, he's still here. So it's an expansion. It's going to be Seattle and Vegas. The NBA Board of Governors are voting on that very soon. I'm here for it. I might not be here for that, but I'd love to see it and bring KD back. They drafted him. They drafted him right here in this city of Seattle. Oh man. Pat Riley, epic coach up there amongst the greatest. He picks his spots. You know, he picks his spots. He didn't win it for us when he was coaching the Knicks, and then he left us for Miami. So I don't really fuck with Pat. Matter of fact, I can't stand him. Damn near hate that motherfucker. You know, but his place in the space as a legend is there. I can't deny it. What did Odegaard do? I think someone referred to him in a certain way. That's the. We traded for Porzingis. He hasn't played yet, and that's why you traded for an injured player. I do rate Kristaps. You know, big up Latvian Gunnar, and that. You know, I rate him. It's one of Phil Jackson's contributions as a consultant for the New York Knicks when we drafted Kristaps. But yeah, he did well in Boston. Did well in Dallas. I think he's gonna do well. You know, but I don't think he's gonna be that missing piece that Golden State need. I just think it's over, man. Hey, the Jordan needs to smoke something. But Wahaha, you know, if you're talking to a Knicks fan about the Pacers, fuck them. Fuck them. The NBA saved basketball. That Tyrese Halley bitch. No, fuck them. Okay, I didn't want no. I know people in OKC. I will go back there many, many times. I don't want to. Fuck them. Couldn't have them man winning the NBA title. Hell no. Mr. Pads Facts 96-97 was one of my memorable seasons watching the Heat. Tim Hardaway, Dan Marley, Zoe, PJ Brown, Jamal Mashburn. Great memories with my granddad. You know, I make an emphasis of calling the names full out so that you man know that I know my basketball. Now, most people don't even know Dan Marley, you know, and Zoe Alonzo Mourning, unless you follow. But this team was good, and this was when the Heat and Knicks rivalry was a thing. Jesus and Odegaard will definitely be in the starting lineup during the run-in, possibly a key game, and Marino will be included so he can force him back from injury. Oh shit! For the run-in, yeah, he'll definitely, because he can just outright bench his captain for the run-in, and then we get over the line, and then he's lifting the trophy. That just wouldn't be it. Supposedly people running to Sean Kemp at his disposal. Yeah, I see him all the time, man, in Tacoma area. He's more in Tacoma than he's in Seattle. And the Pacers would have still won if Tyrese didn't stop his Achilles. I'll say it again. Fuck the Pacers. And that's coming from a deep place of hate as a Knicks fan. Fuck Reggie Miller. Fuck Rick Carlisle. Rick Smits. Dale Davis. Antonio Davis. Travis Best. Jalen Rose. Who else played for them motherfuckers? I got love for Mark Jackson. But, yeah, fuck them. Can't stand them. Another injured player is the Porzingis. Once we have Seattle and Vegas, West teams need to move east for the conference. So they'll regardless of where they'll just keep them in the conference, because The Memphis Grizzlies are in the Western Conference. They used to be the Vancouver Grizzlies. So they moved to the Memphis isn't really the East Coast, but it's not West. So the Memphis are in the West Coast because they originally came into the NBA team as a West Coast team. Well, they'll find a way to jig the conferences. Fuck you and your OKC. They're the absolute zestiest team. They're the worst floppers and the worst dick riding from the NBA since LeBron's Cavs. SGA has emerged as an MVP candidate. I mean, when you live there, you live there, and you live in the city and you vibe and shit. You know what I mean? But I just couldn't have the Pacers winning the NBA now. Nope. Nope. A Knicks fan, BBK, you got Banks or Fab. Ooh, shit. Brother. J Lux, man. God damn. I want to see this. I want to see this in a versus. You know what? I'm gonna go with Fab because of the more body of work. Lloyd Banks, the Cold Corner, he had a mixtape called The Cold Corner. The Rookie of the Year is one of my favorite mixtapes of all time. And The Rotten Apple was a good album, but Fab's The Funeral, The Wake, and yeah, I'm just gonna but that right there is a good one. Not gonna lie. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put this in the group chat and ask Kevin and man about it. Lad Stevenson. Yeah, you want Lance to come blow in your ear, wahaha. Of course, he was one of my favorites. Love watching the Doc. You know what's about to Doc, you know what's about to happen. You know what's about to happen, Doc. Just go ahead and lean in for a bit and hold your slap. Because I can't have you speaking that way of my New York Knicks, my guy. Yeah, Rick Smiths. Yeah, I hate every single player that ever wore that damn uniform, man. You know what I mean? That's do you remember you remember my guy Bernard King? He wore a crown and was a proper dude back in the day. Yeah, Bernard King was the type of player that would I'm trying to think of a modern day player who would remind me of Bernard King. Maybe Draymond, someone who would talk a lot of shit and then back it up. Yeah. But I have to turn the volume up. You know, AJ, yeah, you're my guy, yeah? You my guy, but go ahead and lean in for a little bit. How dare you? Yeah, man, fuck them. Can't stand them. No pack teeth motherfuckers, man. I hated every single one of them. Because whenever when Michael wasn't in the league and we would get by the Bulls, we'd run into them. We would get by them, we would run into Michael. Hate the Pacers, man. Banks over Fab, Gianni said, but it's close. The Cold Corner was a badass mixtape, man. That's a good one, J-Lux. But there's a little bit of Brooklyn bias because Fab is a Brooklyn boy. A little bit of, Lloyd Banks, them men out in Queens. But yeah, I'm Fab. Yeah, another bully. Bullet. Big up to Prom. What you telling me? Listen to Prom, man. Say get the likes up. So Lance is a legend. SGA a bum, a free throw merchant. Nah, yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I rate SGA, man. To lead a team that young, I rate SGA. If you watch my first NBA Wednesday show, it was Luka, SGA, Booker, Ja, and another Wemby that we had to rank. And SGA is that dude, man. I think James Harden during his MVP season was a free throw merchant. But now that he's a champion, he gets he gets a lot of calls. But so did Michael. Michael got a lot of calls. It's one of them ones. But yeah, that's the Halliburton is a better. Big up to Gianni, man. My guy, you being the Knicks, do you hate my Bulls? Yeah, I hate it. The thing is that Michael is my GOAT. I fucks with Mike. I hated him while I never really appreciated him until he retired. But while he was playing, I couldn't stand that motherfucker, man. Like he would come to Madison Square Garden and be like, I'm scoring 50 tonight and score 50 tonight. Easily. You know. But I do hate the Bulls. Or hated them. I hated them at the time. I love D Rose. I think D Rose was injuries just, you know. We can add him to that list again, Mr. Glass, but that ACL. He was so explosive, the amount of torque that he would put on those damn knees. Yeah, man, we're getting there, Kwaja. We're getting there. Big you up. You should hate that fake film director, not Reggie. I tell you what, Spike hates Reggie just as much as I hate Reggie. I don't like that motherfucker, man. My Knicks. Which pissed me off that we lost to them the other night as well. You know what I mean? It's mad. Hey man, big up Gianni. Big you up, man. Did you know that Ron Artest was a proper street dude from Queens? Yeah, I do. He's a crazy one. Crazy. Like, he brought that street shit to the NBA in 2004 for the Malice in the Palace. Beating up fans. His best friend is a Godfather, infamous mob. He grew up Prodigy and them dudes. Yeah. Ron he's a different type of crazy. You remember that NBA player where Draymond Green was just doing craziness on the court, and then he looked back and saw that it was Ron Artest behind him, and he checked his attitude that day. You know what I mean? Big up to Prodigy, man. Yep. Sometimes I feel I want to get away. Yep. Memphis heroes, man. Vernon Maxwell, the nights before he had to go up against MJ, man, I had a lot of sleepless nights. Man would show up to New York, smoke a cigar, and just blitz the Knicks for 40, 50. You know what I mean? Three for me, two for you. Respect. Big up AJ, man. The Bulls should never let him go. These were done. There isn't a single New York Knicks better than my team. Goat D Wade with the flash. Modern day, yeah. I would say Bernard King is better than him, but that's going way back. Way back. Hellboring Hitler, aka Arden. Yeah, man. He knew what he was doing too. Man hit his chest. Periphery sees him. Bang. It was mad. Do you have Jadakiss or DMX? Jadakiss is a better rapper, but I feel like DMX. So Kiss is my favorite rapper. He is. So I'm biased with Jada. I've heard every Jada song, every Jada album, every Jada's mixtape. I think DMX was a better performer and a bigger overall legend, but Jada is my favorite. You know what I mean? But people, I am going to love you and leave you. It is Valentine's Day. Today is the only day when every pum pum in America is shaved bald. I don't know how over there in the UK the restaurants are full and everyone is happy. But I'm sure all of you man over in the UK right now is what? Coming up on 6:30, you getting ready to go out, getting ready to go clap cheeks. My day is just getting started, you know, and as much as I love y'all, I ain't gonna let y'all fuck up my day. Yeah? So Mrs. Chambers is waiting on me. I'm gonna take her out and do all this other stuff. We're gonna play high school again, this made up holiday. You know, so listen, if your girl didn't shave her pum pum today or yesterday or this morning, you're fucking up. I mean, you getting a furry burger later. You know what I mean? Don't do it to yourselves, people. Don't do it to yourselves. Big up to every single one of you. Hey, there you go. There you go. Make sure you sleep with one eye open, Gianni. Them Latinas be crazy, you know. Big up, people. Absolute legends. And if we're going to end it like that, you know, we have to play on some music. Now, big up. Manners and respect, people. Like I always say, take care of yourselves and each other. Until next time, we are.
Joanna, your busy body, busy tonight. Joanna, about for the result, nothing to discuss, cause I did win by default and without money follow you, banana follow you, Brother, fall on you. If I tell you, say I love you, oh yeah, beauty, you too. My number one is you too.
Baby, calm down. Yo, this your body, it puts in my heart for lockdown. Oh,